Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, let's start from the beginning. What is this?
Marker.
Marker. Okay, if the dog came in and I handed him this, what would he do with it?
Bite.
Chew it. Chew on it.
He'll bite on it, right? Okay, that is proof that this is coming from something in our mind. That's proof. Now, I want you to think about this. This is how. If this really were a marker, all alone, without a seed in our mind opening up, a karmic seed, by the way, opening up and putting itself on a marker, then the dog will write with it. But it doesn't. Because why? A seed is coming from the dog's mind, putting itself onto this, and it is a truth away. Remember this. If it were a marker exclusively, then the dog would write with it, but it doesn't. All right, now, here's the next part. If I put this down right here and we all walked out of the room, the dog left and we left, what is it at that point? The universal answer is this. Everybody just do this, but that's the universal answer on that. We don't know. And as soon as you say that, you became a Buddhist. You just became a philosopher. Okay, that's what you just became. All right. So it's empty. The point is, it's this concept in karma, or really Buddhism, which is really the mother of karma, and it is emptiness. But emptiness is not like this. Oh, everything is empty. It's black. What it means is the world is coming from our seeds in our own mind. That's what it means. Now, this is super important. Super important. Now, here's the next thing. So, just like this is coming from the seed in our mind, how do you plant a seed in your mind? That's the question. Because money comes from a seed in your mind. Opportunities come from seeds in your mind. Soulmates come from seeds in your mind. Everything you can want comes from the seeds in your mind. So how do you plant it? Let's talk about money specifically. Okay? This is how money works. We got $1, don't we? Babe, we got $1. Let me go grab $1 so I can show you all this. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, babe, I need you for an example, okay? All right, so I'm about to, you're going to have to, no. Can you stand up?
You can see me right here.
Okay, because y'all can see it. Okay. So, forgot about that. So here goes some money, right? How do you plant seeds, which is money? Because karma, what happens is if you plant a seed, it comes back to you 10x to 100x. So here's how you plant it. I have the money in my hand. You see it. You see her hand over there, right? Now watch this. When I put the money in her hand and I let go, I just planted a seed. That's how it works. That's how it works. Now, you keep that. Okay, so she has the seed now. How did the seed get planted? I just watched myself give money. The seed is now in my mind. I can't unsee it. I just watched myself give money. Therefore, there's a seed in my mind. That seed doubles every day it's in your subconscious mind. Now, the question is, okay, I've given away more than enough money. So where's my damn money? Because I haven't got that much back, right? That's the question. Everybody like, well, where's the damn money? Okay, here's the next part of the formula, all right? Next part of the formula is this. The reason people give and they don't receive back is because when you go to sleep at night, you don't appreciate yourself for doing what you're doing. What that got to do with anything? It has to do with your subconscious mind. The seed is there. Now, here's the issue. This is the issue. It will bloom, but maybe next lifetime. You might not get it till next lifetime. But you cannot negate a seed you've planted. Whenever you give that physical dollar, you watch it leave your hands and go into somebody else's hands. When you let go, it's in your mind. You can't unsee it. Now, check this out. The other thing on the other side is you can't unsee yourself doing the negative thing. Yes, the intention does matter, Jay. It matters the most, actually. So intent it matters 99.9%. Remember? Right side of the trainer balance scale, left side. The intent behind it matters the most. And the intent of the person you're giving to matters too. All of these factors go into play. So if you give to a person who's doing good and serving society, that amplifies the seed. But we're just going to go with 10x to 100x and just keep it at that. Because that's a bare minimum that you're going to get back. So what's the point of me explaining this? I want to explain this concept because every single thing you're getting in your life, you at one point gave to somebody else in principle. Okay? Everything that you are currently receiving in your life, including the incredible experiences you're having in this group, you at some point gave to someone else. And now it's coming back multiplied. That is what's going on. Every single little thing. So the way to save yourself from negative situations is to watch the seeds you plant. Think of others as you would like to think them to think about you. That's it, paying it forward. Exactly. Because once you pay it forward, you are exercising a law of action or a law of karma. The action is the law of rhythm. It has to come back. And when it comes back, the law just says it has to be 10x to 100x or above, depending on the intent. Even if you don't have a good intent, it's like, here's the money. It has to come back. You can literally run away from the money and it'll chase you down and tackle you and put it in your pocket. That's how it works. That's how karma works. So if you give money, you can run away from money. If you give a bunch of it and you appreciate yourself when you go to sleep, you can give away a bunch of money and it don't matter how much you don't want it to come back. It will literally run you down and force itself into your bank and force itself into your life. It will make you be blessed because it's the law. So I want y'all to understand this. So now let's go to another example. All right, here's another example. Now, one day, here's you right here. This is you. And here is your spouse over here. Or somebody, your best friend, let's say whoever, okay? Somebody you love. But this what happened. You come into the door and you come into the door, you just had a nice day. You just came from work. You did a good ass job at work. Everything went perfectly. You come into the house and your spouse goes, "You are so stupid." And you're like, what the hell did I even do? Where did that come from? So they did it out of nowhere, right? For no reason. Here's the concept. There is actually two spouses in the kitchen. It's spouse number one, who they are saying this to you for no reason. That's spouse number one. Okay? But they have a twin in the same body. It's called spouse number two. Spouse number two said the same thing to you because you kicked the cat last week. Or you were short-tempered with your child a couple weeks ago. Or You got real short with somebody and just got annoyed. And what happened was, over the week, you went to bed with it, you woke up with it, you went to bed with the seed, you woke up with the seed, and then eventually that seed bloomed as spouse number 2, which is because of you. And now they say, you're so stupid. Which one is real? One of them is fake. Which one is fake? Which one is fake? Somebody tell me, which one is not real? Number 1 does not exist. This is the reason for all of your pain. It's because you think you're literally responding to a person that doesn't exist. It's the one that did it to you for no reason. That is why you feel negative, because you're responding to a person that doesn't exist. Now, if you're responding to the one that actually exists, the one that happened because of you, what would you do? Babe, call me stupid. She don't like this. She don't like calling me stupid. Okay, you don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. Okay, I'm an imaginary person. Just call me stupid. You so stupid. What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I must have called, in my mind, I must have called somebody stupid. I must have made somebody feel stupid. And I'm going to say, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to walk into the bathroom mirror and I'm going to say, you fix that. You never call somebody stupid again. You make everybody feel empowered and encouraged. That's what you do from here going forward. And I'm going to talk to myself in the mirror. Now, what's going to happen? If I do this and I sow the seeds into other people and I just give kindness, empowerment, and I don't do anything except that, what happened to my spouse over here? All of a sudden, maybe it seemed like for no reason, they come back and they say, you know what? I was just out of pocket the other night. I apologize. I love you, actually. And they start to give you beauty in your life and peace in your life. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, right? No, because what happened? You sowed new seeds. And this spouse of yours got better. Alicia has upgraded me multiple times through our relationship. See, she can't even call me stupid, because that's how incredible she is. So she has upgraded me so many times in our relationship. When we first met, I was just blacked out. I would have traumas just coming out of my body. Traumas. I'm blaming her for everything. Alicia just giving me space. Like, I know this ain't me because I don't know what the hell you talking about. And just gave me the space to be insane for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe a day, hour. And then all of a sudden, a mystical feeling comes over me. Here I am apologizing and fixing myself. What happened? She upgraded me. That's how it works. Okay? Everybody understanding this? This is the most simple example, right? This is karma. By the way, if a teacher can't explain it in the kitchen, they're not a good teacher. They got to be able to explain it with the spouse in the kitchen. It got to make sense in the kitchen. So if somebody is so mystical that they can't break it down so that it makes sense in the kitchen, it ain't a good teacher. Okay, remember that. That's just something to remember. So this is how it works. Now, I'm going to talk to you about life. Let's expand this to life, because this works all throughout life. Now, all of y'all want something specific. Or really, let's say all of y'all want something, because we learned that specific is actually not the best goal. It's actually general is the next best, and feeling is the next best. So how do we do this? How do we manage our life? It's actually it's a book called Karmic Management. I recommend for everybody, actually. And he wrote this book. This is the one he got famous on. It's called Diamond Cutter. The Diamond Cutter. I wouldn't recommend this one read first. Read Karmic Management first, because it's way easier. It's simpler. So Diamond Cutter is one of those books that got real popular throughout Hollywood for a little while, because it made people realize that it's a give and receiving game. So his name is Michael Roach. He's a Jesuit, which is he got taught by lamas. Basically, he got essentially two PhDs in spiritual psychology by going into Tibet and learning from the lamas for so long. So that's what happened. But this is what he taught me. This is called karmic management. Look at my boy. Look. Oh, he got the head card. All right. Okay.
Yes.
So check this out.
Yes.
Let's talk about how do we approach life. Yeah, he got approached by
one thing.
not actual llama.
The hard book, I don't know if it's clear or not, but this book is available super cheap if you follow the link I gave you.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Follow the link.
Perfect. Thank you. And it's hardcover too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hardcover the best. Hardcovers last longer. Trust me. Okay, because I don't have paperback. I tore one of my favorite books up. It's like literally ripped apart. But anyway, okay. Let's talk about how do you manage your life. This is how you can approach life for this point going forward. This is whether you got a business or you just got a life or you got a nonprofit. It don't matter what it is. This is how it works, okay? And I'm going to explain it in terms of a business so you can understand. By the way, if you want to get anything done, this is how you get it done. People say, the llamas will say, your people, they say they don't have money. Why don't they just plant some? That was the psychology. Like, why don't they just plant it? I don't know. They don't listen. If you plant the money has to grow back. So let's talk about this. So how does this work? Karmic management. Number one, you want to start getting a plan together to serve and give to, first, your partners. Your partner or your partners. Partners in business, partner in life. This is the first person that you want to intend to give to. They are like your karmic money bank. Okay? The more you can think about and plot and scheme to give more to them, the better it is for you. I know, yeah. So it's like, but if it's business, right? You might have a CEO, somebody who do the marketing. You might have somebody who does the accounting, somebody who's more organized, somebody who the idea person, and somebody who get it done. So now you got all of your people here. Your thought process is, how do I give more to them? My thought process all day, every day is, how do I give more to you? I consider y'all to be spiritual partners in this life. That's what I consider y'all to be. I don't consider y'all to be customers. I consider y'all to be spiritual partners in this life. Y'all doing the same work I am. I'm still learning just like you are. We partners. I got a certain skill set. It's called teaching and the quality of leadership. But that makes me no better or worse than you. I just am a part of the body, and y'all are a part of the body. We doing the exact same thing. So my thoughts is, how do I give more to them? Now, what's going to happen if I give more to my partner, Alicia, and my partners, y'all? I'm going to receive 10x to 100x. And do I even have to think about if I'm going to get a return? No. It's law. So that's the first person you want to start plotting and scheming to give to. Next, number two, you want to give to your customers. Your customers. Now, who are your customers? In a business, it's easy to identify who your customers are. You want to plot and scheme to give as much as you possibly can while not tanking the business. Seriously, you want to think about how to give as much as you can without tanking the business to your people, above and beyond what they can even ask or think. They have to be, when they on the receiving end, they have to receive and they have to feel like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting all of this. That's how they should feel. I can't believe I got all of this. This is unbelievable. This is totally beyond what I expected. That's how you want to deliver. Because guess how you're going to receive? You're going to receive and go, oh my God, I'm receiving so much above and beyond. I can't believe I'm receiving all of this. That's how you will feel because of the law. It's karma. So this is the second group of people who you want to think about. Now, like Jay said, that's family, extended family, family members. But you actually have to go outside of family if you really want this to work the best. Because family, you kind of tied to them. They kind of are you. So that works, but it works even better when you do it for strangers. When you do it for people you don't know, it works better. Okay? So customers, what's next? Number 3, it is your suppliers. Your suppliers. So my thought should be, so I got a brand, we got a brand guy, a brand manager, a brand marketer guy who we work with, right? My thought is, I literally said this to Alicia. I'm like, how do we make him more money off of this? I literally thought this thought. Like, how do we get him even more money and make his business even more successful? And we are literally right now plotting to make his business more successful right now, and we're going to do it. So I'm thinking about how do I make him even more successful? So if I was a lumber guy, I would ask, how do I get the guy who's supplying me with the lumber more money? How do I make him even more money? This is the person who you buy supplies. It's really expenses in your business. So the person who ends up being an expense, you ask, how do I get them even more money? That's a supplier thought. And then finally, number 4 is the world. If you want to use this to serve the world, how is my impact that what I'm doing right now going to serve the whole world? How does it ripple effect? So for instance, what we're doing in here, my desire, my hope is that y'all start to create whatever it is you're designed to create that only you can create and are designed to. Because guess what happens? It causes a ripple effect. So now I'm not just helping somebody in a group. Now we are causing ripple effects. And what I hope is that you cause a ripple effect in somebody else, your kids, your spouse. And this is what ended up happening, by the way. People around you, I don't know if y'all noticed this yet, people around you start changing. They start changing. Your spouse start changing. Your kids start changing. And you wonder, like, it's subtle at first, but if you look and pay attention, they're changing. What's happening? What the work that y'all are doing in here is causing a ripple effect. And it's causing their mind to change. The chemistry of their mind is changing. I remember in the last group, last mastermind, it was one girl who, she said her son got out of the car and he was like, Mommy, we are having a good life and we're about to have a good day of abundance. And he don't say stuff like this. She don't talk to him about what's going on in the boot camp. Don't say nothing to him about it. Talking about, we about to have abundance. Another guy, Paul, who's actually in his boot camp, he just got to watch the replays. Paul got in the boot camp, wanted his spouse to get in the boot camp. I said, Paul, just get in the boot camp. Everything changes. You change people around you. Guess what? His wife is now joining the next boot camp. And she didn't even know what he was doing. And now she's like, yeah, I think I want to do that. Because she sees the change in him and the energy is rippling and affecting her. That's how it works. So remember this, your partners or your partner, your customers, your suppliers, and the world. This is so easy to do. It will save you, oh my God, it'll save your life. If you sit down and just scheme to make these people successful, and I'm talking, you got to actually put forth the effort as if it's you. See, this is the key. For this to really work, you got to think about them as if it's you. And then you got to put all of your energy and thought and ingenuity and focus and concentration and attention on how do I make them successful? What energy do I have to be in? What type of, I'm gonna meet with them once a week. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give them this book. I learned about this Eckhart Tolle book. Let me get this to them. I'm gonna just see if they read it. And you gotta actually be wise with it. Don't say, look, you need to read this because you're stupid. Don't say that, all right? Figure out a way to get them to read it. Hey, I'm reading this book. You might like it too. Let's read it together. Maybe that get them to read it. What if they do start reading it? What you just did is plant a seed. It comes back. Think about the value y'all getting in here, for instance. Imagine if somebody got the same value. Now, if they're ready for it, obviously, you can't give somebody something if they don't ask. If they're not ready, if they're not asking with their spirit and not asking with their mouth. So they got to first ask with their spirit. And if you can feel them asking with their spirit, give it to them. If you can feel their energy asking, then give it to them. I'm gonna show you how far this goes. You get on the elevator with somebody, right? What you want to do is if you get on the elevator, there's another person there. Look over, try to feel them out. What do they want? Some people want to be left alone. If you intentionally feel into it and see that they want space, and that's what they want, give them intentional space. That's giving. Okay? Maybe this person, you feel this person needs some encouraging words or a compliment. Your outfit, what made you put that together like that? That's a nice comment. I like that combination. Thank you. I was thinking about it. I was so nervous. I didn't know what to wear. You will be surprised. People start telling you stuff. And then guess what? They walk out the elevator elevated. Guess what you just did? You just sowed a seed. And look, I'm telling you, it works best with small stuff. The smaller it is, the bigger the returns. I'm talking, if somebody say, oh my God, I love those cookies. It's your last cookie. You want the cookie. Say, here, give the cookie away. I'm talking about give everything. So you pull up to a parking spot. Somebody they fighting for the parking spot. You got there first. Back up. Let them get the spot in the front. I'm talking little tiny stuff. Any little tiny thing that you can think to give to somebody, the smaller, the better. Treat the small like it's large in this game. Because the more subtle, the more amplified. Law of polarity. It gives you huge returns. So figure out all the little tiny ways to give. Not the big way. Big ways, you can give it a big way, but the tiny ways are the most impactful. So do that with your partners, with your customers, with your suppliers, and with the world. What you're doing is, if you get in the habit of doing this and thinking like this, think about what you want. A lot of us want attention. We all want significance to some degree. So if you want significance, or you want attention, or you want to be approved of, and we all do, think about it. Find other people to approve of. Think about what you write in the group chat, as a matter of fact. In the group chat, how many times do you celebrate somebody's win in the group chat? Now, if somebody write a win, do you immediately write yours? Or do you think about them and what can boost them? What do you do? Ask yourself that. So that's one thing you can do. Okay? That's something you can do. So think about it. Maybe, Jay. So think about it. What do you do in a group? The group is the best way. It's the best area. It is a good call out, right? Because you gotta realize the tiny ways. This is the tiny stuff. This stuff that we overlook. So think about it. If you're in a group, the group is the best way to give recognition. So one of the parts of the system is give and receive recognition, right? So if you got a win, a legitimate win, post that damn win. Why though? Think about it. Why are you posting a win? I'm posting a win so others get an opportunity to give recognition. Not so I can get recognition. Think about that. This is a small switch because it's all about intent. I'm showing y'all like the nuances right now. Okay? Tiny thing. Little tiny thing. Think about it. If I post my win, which you should post your wins, you got to be celebrated for the wins. That's the most important thing. You got to be celebrated. If you don't get celebrated, you don't get reinforced. You need to be celebrated. That's important. So don't discount that. But while you share, understand, yes, you're going to be receiving. But the intent you have is I want to give other people the opportunity to give recognition. Because it's actually more valuable for them to give recognition than it is for you to receive it. When you give recognition as if you won, you actually get way more than if you receive the recognition. It's huge when you give recognition. When you can literally, when people walk across the stage and they win awards, if you can scream and get like, yes, oh, you are the best. If you can scream at TikTok when people win it, he's like, yes, win, go, yes. If you can really feel excited for a person, you are getting that back. It's a seed. I'm telling you, take every little bitty tiny microscopic opportunity to celebrate people, especially people who have what you want. I remember there was this section of time I had in my life where I did something I wasn't proud of. And I think I told this story. I might have told this story. I did something I wasn't proud of. And what I did was, it was about a relationship. So every relationship, a person with a relationship I saw walk through the store, because I was in Sam's Club, Costco, Menards, Best Buys, and I had a whole team in there selling stuff in there, right? And what I did that whole day, instead of selling stuff, I would see couples walk by and I'd say, hold on, how long have y'all been married? 25 years, 16 years, 40 years. I'm like, y'all are beautiful. Y'all amazing. And I would celebrate that. Why? Because I wanted that. So I went out of my way intentionally and deliberately to celebrate people who had relationships because I wanted one. But I wasn't thinking about me while I was doing it. I sincerely wanted to give my happiness and joy to them. And guess what? I'm blessed with the best relationship I've ever had in my life right now. There you go. So I'm telling you, these are like the nuanced ways to do this. This is another thing. This is the benefit of this, by the way, too. It keeps you occupied through the day. Keep your mind occupied. So when your mind, you'll notice, it's challenging to apply some of the stuff because life get in the way, right? So when life comes up, you are prone and reactive to think about yourself. It's a reactive thing. We all have it. Okay? I sent the tapping technique. I think if I haven't, I'm going to send it. Tap, make sure that you clear out that energy. And then next, think about how can I give in this situation? Even if it's energetically, even if it's space. Whatever you can give, because this is why, y'all, I'm telling you, it's not because I'm such a good person. It's because you understand the law. I'm trying to show you the law. Now, let's say I get recognition. Let's say I'm getting recognition. And all I'm doing is I'm soaking it up. Let's say I'm just soaking up the recognition. They're like, Josh, you changed my life. I'm like, yes, I did. I changed your life. Let's say I'm feeling that. Okay. I accept all of it in. What happens? I just ate my seed corn. I just ate the seed. And now I have nothing to sow. So I just lost. That's as much as I'm getting. Okay. It's this scripture in the Bible. It say, don't pray with vain repetition like the heathens do. They just want to be seen. And all they get everything they asking for. That's all they're going to get is to be seen because that's what they wanted. So it's the same concept. The concept is make sure before you do something, think about it. How do I give in this situation? Even if you're receiving, especially when you're receiving, think about how do I give? What are they, even if you can't give anything physically, just think, what are they receiving from giving me recognition? Even if you just think about that, you're succeeding in giving. Remember, it's 99.9% intent and thought, less than 1% action. So you don't necessarily have to give a physical thing. If you can, definitely give a physical thing. Because remember how the seed works? When I gave that, let me see the dollar again. When I do this again, here you go. If I do this, and I watch it happen, I just watched myself do it. It's the same consciousness. If I know in my mind I'm thinking about what people are receiving from giving me recognition, I just switched it. I just turned karma on my favor. This is the game. This is real subtle game. But look, you can do this all day. It's going to keep your mind occupied. So when you keep your mind occupied with this, it becomes a real life game. It becomes a real life game that you can play all day, and it always benefits you. This is what happens too. I'm gonna show you what happened. You end up receiving unexpectedly, and you're like, "Oh my God, I didn't even expect to receive." That's the best reception too. It's like I never expected it. You were so busy playing the giving game that when you receive, it's like, "Oh my God, I wanted this my whole life. I had no idea what's coming right now." Like, and it just comes to you. And a lot of times when it happens, tears will come to your eyes and you realize you didn't, the thing is beautiful, but it's the fact that it works. It's the fact you connected to the spirit. It's the fact that you connected to some divine thing that actually pays attention and cares and is compassionate. That's really what well your heart up and make you just cry tears. And it is so much more beautiful than if you would have took it for yourself, made a transaction. It's so much more beautiful. Okay? So, anybody got any questions about this? I recommend y'all sit down and actually think about this and think about how you can play the game. It's the best game I've ever played. Anybody got any questions about this? Or any comments, any observations about yourself, about anything? Go ahead, Jay.
I mean, on the end, I was goofing off towards the end, writing "Thank you, you're welcome, my pleasure, you are welcome," over whatever, or "it will come," being welcome. It's in our language if we want to use it, and it's not just in the politeness of these words. It's in, as you call, the intention. How do I give when I'm receiving recognition? As someone applauds, there's that bow on stage. It's kind of like honoring the audience. So there's so many little nuances once you start paying attention. And then, oh my God, it's like so cool. But thanks for pointing it out, because when I wrote the original thank you, it was, wow, this embellishment, I understood it, but I didn't underline it. So a lot of what this course is for me is underlining thoughts that are floating around. It's like, wait a minute, that's an awesome thought. Underline that, highlight it, and apply it.
There we go. Good point, Jay. Good point. Thank you for that share. That was beautiful.
I was gonna say, this kind of takes me back to one of our, if it wasn't the first day, it was like one of the first days, talking about like serving self alone, just giving. This is like taking this several layers deeper, because it really does go into like, okay, if I'm giving to serve myself, well then I that's all you get out of it. But when you give to just give freely and not expect anything in return other than to just pour into that person or enrich their life, that like this explanation kind of like peeled back those layers. It's like, okay, this is, yeah, it's like connecting dots from like the beginning of the boot camp.
Good.
So
That's good.
There's even a scripture in the Bible that talks about it with the master that had the three
talents.
Yes.
Yeah. That's such a good example. Yeah. It's all throughout all of the holy books, through all scriptures, through the Vedas, through the Quran, through even the Tao Te Ching, through every spiritual book, because all spiritual books really point back to truth or principle. And principle is principle, no matter if we had a book or not. You could just kind of live life and figure it out. Like, every time I give, it's like comes back over here. You just pay attention and it happens. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you for the insight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit more about when you said you got to still go to bed at night and feel good about what you did, and kind of like basically having like that mental reinforcement of feeling
Yes.
good
Yes.
and
Thank you for
feeling better. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to show this image, this illustration. So if you can imagine, every single time you give, it's a seed. Okay. And let's say this is like the chamber of manifestation. And when a seed gets to the top, it manifests. And it's this chamber of seeds here, pea seeds. Let's just look at them like that. Okay. So what happens is this: you give. That give goes to the bottom of the pack. All of these have to manifest first before you can get to this. It's like when one pops out, this one moves up. When another one pops out, the other one moves up, right? Okay, so you think of it like this. Here's what happens when you appreciate. When you appreciate, you make this seed vibrate. When you appreciate what you've done and what you're doing. So this seed actually gets bumped up to the top because it has the highest vibration. And that's the reason to focus and appreciate at night, is because you actually bump up this giving to a higher point in the queue. So it pops out. Now, appreciation itself is different than gratitude. Appreciation it's just different. So Alicia is the gratitude guru. So, and she understands this better than me. But she explained it. She said, gratitude comes before appreciation. Be grateful for something, and then as you look at it, you can just allow yourself to appreciate it without any thought, without any need, without any justification, just enjoying the experience of that thing. So when you go to bed, for instance, if you gave to somebody that week, what you're thinking about is, wow, what if she gets affected and starts to give herself to others? Think about how many other people can be affected by this. That would just be a beautiful thing. I'm so appreciative for this method that allows people to give and focus on giving. Think about if everybody did that in the world. Everybody would just be giving. This is so beautiful. I love the way this feels. I love and appreciate what I'm doing. And the teachers that taught me that, that's what you're thinking about as you go to sleep. Now, remember, as you go to sleep, your subconscious mind is open and receptive and more fertile. And when you wake up, your subconscious mind is open and fertile. So, but when you go to sleep is important because sometimes you're tired throughout the day, and it's easier to think about negatives when you're tired. And it's easy to think about the tomorrow's problems when you're tired. So that's why it's important to think about that at night. So to pour that appreciation on yourself, on the method, and whoever created this universe and everything, that you can appreciate, but especially the activity you did, it bumps that up in a queue so that it manifests quicker in your life.
So is that what happens when, some people be like, I give, and I'm still left, I'm empty, I have nothing.
Yes.
So they're like kind of reinforcing that negative, they're reinforcing the lack, and they're kind of canceling it out.
Exactly. It doesn't cancel
Okay.
it, but yeah, I know what you mean. Yes, it cancels, like canceling it out. It pushes it down in the queue.
Okay.
It's there and it's multiplying, but they may not get it until next lifetime. That's the issue. But they're not watering it. But it is growing. You can burn a seed, but you can't destroy one. So let's talk about the seeds. I want to talk about this before we go. The negative seeds that y'all planted, because you have them, right? I want to talk about that before we go. So if you have negative seeds, which we all do, here's how you cancel them. It's not that you cancel them, they just fizzle out. It's like they burst quick, but they don't grow into a full-blown experience that you have to experience full on. So this is what you do. You first recognize what you did. You think about what you did, okay? I was super mean to this girl in high school, and I was mean to her every single day. I cannot believe I talked about her forehead or whatever it is. Okay, you think about what you did. That's first. Realize the issue and realize what will come back on you because you did it. So you have to actually think about the consequences. Like, no, this is going to be consequential to me, and I don't want to experience that. What this does is increase the urgency for you to want to change it. It's like, okay, I don't want this in my life. I need to change it. Third thing you do is you make a decision that you will not do this, and you have to make a promise that you can keep. So you can say, I will not be mean to anyone else for the next 5 minutes. Because if you say you're never going to be mean to anybody else in your life, you're going to lie and you're going to break another promise. Okay. So you don't want to make a promise that you break again. So you got to say something that you can actually keep, a promise you can keep. Say, I am done with this. I'm not going to be this person anymore. And here's my promise. I promise I'm not going to do this for the next 5 minutes. I'm not going to get mad at Alicia for the next 30 seconds. That's a promise I can keep. Okay? I don't want to be getting mad at Alicia. You just look at her. You can't be mad at her. So, but you understand the concept, right? So you got to make a promise that you're going to keep. And then guess what? You're going to break the promise. And once you break the promise, you go back. You say, all right, I promise I won't do that again, at least for the rest of the day. Do something that you think you can keep. And that's how you short circuit the seed.
It helps to pledge something. So I will start giving more confidence.
Oh, yeah. So Alicia made up a good point. So she said it's good to pledge something like I will start to give more compliments, or I'll start to be kinder to other people. Just make the vow to do the opposite of what you've been doing. And also make that promise next 5 minutes, next 30 seconds. That's how you short circuit negative seeds. Because they're there. Understand? They're there and they have to manifest. It's law. So you make them manifest in a small way. So it's like fizzes out. Small. So it manifested, but it's short circuit. Because you can't eliminate them. It's law. That makes sense? Tanya?
I'm thinking through this. Okay, I'm like trying to like play out a scenario in my head. So I think about the whole giving and receiving. And like I had a reading once and they said that I need to learn how to receive, which I've been told I struggle at receiving. I give, but I struggle to receive. And they did say if I learn how to do that, what I give amplifies. So I'm thinking through it like, what is like for me, I guess, how do I cancel that seed of not being able
to receive?
Yeah.
So like, it's not that you would need to cancel the seed of not being able to receive. Here's what you got to do. When you receive, just think about what they get from giving to you. That's all you have to do. So it's like, what are you getting? Think about, put yourself in their shoes. If somebody's giving you a compliment, what are they trying to do? They want to feel good about giving a compliment. Or they want to feel good about giving you whatever they're giving. So they feel joy for giving. So when you receive, it's really you're giving. Because if they're giving you something, it's not, you don't necessarily have to say it for you. It's just, I know if I feel happy about receiving, that this person will feel happy for giving. So now you're receiving it for them.
It's like giving an opportunity.
Yes, it's giving an opportunity. They feel good. And when they give, guess what they're going to receive? They're going to receive 10x back. You're saying, wow, you're about to receive 10x back. Thank you. Thank you. Because why? They feel good when you say thank you. What are you thanking for? You're thanking so they have the best experience of giving. Because what if I'm like, no, I don't want it. Imagine you just bought your kid a bunch of Christmas presents or whatever. And they're like, these suck. I don't want to open any of them. They just don't want them. Okay? How do you feel? It's like, I wish you would like them, but kids are kids. They're going to do what they want. But now you're more aware. You can say, okay, I know why you're giving this. You are giving because it feels good to you. Let me allow this experience to be the best experience. Thank you. And that's how you work that. So it's not that you got to cancel out a seed. It's just you got to think from their perspective, and it's easy. It's like, okay, I'm giving. You're about to receive 10x. I'm actually giving to you. Thank you. That's how you think. So it takes a little while, but once you can start thinking like that, it'll work.
Okay. And can you explain the arrows again? Like, I'm trying to follow the visual behind you. I guess.
This right here? Okay.
Yeah.
So these are seeds. Each one of these are seeds. The seeds and this is manifest. This is where it manifests. But we can say this here is the Q. How you spell Q?
I actually don't.
Is that how you spell it? I have no idea. Okay.
Yes.
This is the Q. So whenever the seed that Q-U-E-U-E. Q-U-E-U-E. There we go. Okay. I'm like, I know it's more letters than that. Okay. So when the seed that has the strongest vibration is the one that manifests next. Remember this. The seed in your mind that has the strongest vibration is the one that manifests next. Now, it's some seeds that's been in your mind for so long that they've caught a momentum. So it's inevitable for them to manifest next. Guess what that is? You're inevitably probably going to go to sleep at some point. That's because the seed is manifested for you to go to sleep. You're going to go to sleep. It's inevitable. The seed has caught too much momentum. Your desire to sleep has caught too much momentum. So it's certain things that are going to happen tomorrow. They're already planned. They're in your life. You can't even change tomorrow. It's done based on the seeds you already planted. So tomorrow's already set, but not set by some deity. It's set because of the seeds you sow. So remember this. If you appreciate, you move the seed up to the highest point in the queue, and it is what manifests next. So just remember that. Now, as far as how to cancel the seed, when we're talking about the 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it may be, okay, what we're saying is this seed is going to manifest. You cannot help it. So let's say this is a bad seed. Let's say this is a seed you don't want. We got a red marker? Here we go. So let's make this a bad seed. And let's say the bad one is about to manifest. It's up here. So it's high up on the queue. It's about to manifest in your life next. If you know you've done something, what you can do is you can say, okay, I know that this is coming up. I don't want the result of that. I know the law of karma. I do not want this result. That gives you urgency to work on it. So from there, you can say, all right, I'm never going to do this again. I'm going to be a different person. I don't want to be this way. I'm changing. So that's first. And as a matter of fact, I'm making a promise. I'm not going to do whatever I did for the next 5 minutes. Make a promise that you can keep. That's where the time frame comes in. I'm not going to do this mistake. I'm not going to do this again for the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes, because I'm a different person. Okay? That doesn't cancel it. It basically makes it infertile or sterilizes the seed. So now it'll manifest, but it'll make it tiny. It'll be a little tiny thing. There we go. Speed ticket. Slow it down. Okay. And also think about it. If you get something negative, you recognize what it is. It could be so. I remember I got some manifestations and it was negative. And I was in some relationships where I was like, this is the worst relationship. This is horrible. Why am I in this? But I was like, wow, karma. What if this didn't manifest right now? I would have had to manifest this later at the worst degree, like a greater degree. Wow, I'm happy I had that right now. That seed was huge. I thought about that. The seeds grow. Remember, they double every night in size. So think about the stuff that it manifested. It was bad, but it wasn't nearly as bad as it could have been if it kept growing in your mind. Wow, what if I would have went 10 years? So you think this way. This is how you start to think about the things in your mind, and you can appreciate circumstances differently. Right? But did that answer your question about the time?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Jay.
Thank you for the minute. I had to move the queue to get talking. So when you were talking about how do I give when I'm receiving peace, I had a download, if you want to call it that.
Okay.
And the 3 steps that I wrote down was 1, thankful, 2, gratitude, 3, appreciation. On the thankful part, it was like thankful for the day, like what just happened, the day. I'm thankful. Then I have gratitude for the lessons that I learned in that day. And then I appreciate what gifts will come from honoring the lessons. That was my share.
That's a beautiful way to see
That was
this.
very good. Thank you for that.
That was a beautiful way to see that. That's a beautiful way to see that. Go ahead, Kobe.
I had a quick question.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about like giving an opportunity for other people to like plant their seeds, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and like ask this in the right way. So like let's say if somebody goes to give you something and you think, oh, this like almost like it's a masked good intention. Like it might be a gift or something, but
Mhm.
they have a bad intention tied to it.
Good,
Not
good.
not like in the not in the sense of like the fake wife analogy in the kitchen,
Mhm.
like something unrelated, maybe like somebody that has envy or like jealousy. If you know something like that where it's where they have like a negative intention, like
Yeah,
how do you
that's a
navigate
good
that? Like
question.
yeah, because it's like, well, you want to give. I mean, does that cancel out? You're like, well, I gave them the opportunity to give, but my
That's a good
unintention.
question.
How does that?
That's
Yeah.
a good question. That's a good question. So if you know, if you can feel with your gut, this person has a bad intention on giving, but that's not really giving, right?
Okay.
So if you let that come in, are you really giving an opportunity for them to give? No.
Okay.
So,
Okay. So then that's pretty simple. It seems like.
right. So in that situation, act on your gut.
Yeah. Okay.
So if your gut says, no, I appreciate the offer, but I'm
Mhm.
good. Thank you. And
Okay.
saying no and just keeping that boundary up at that point because why? Not because me, but because that's actually going to damage you if you try to do this. Not
Okay.
good.
Cool. Okay.
Make sense?
Interesting. Yes. Thank you.
There we go. But discernment, Lisa just said that word.
Yeah, Lisa said it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Lisa, you just said,
Understanding the fear between the fear and the gut.
yeah,
Saying no thing. There's a
yes.
difference.
So be clear. Because I look, and y'all probably had this experience a lot when somebody approach you and they really want something from you, but they
Yeah.
acting so nice.
Right.
It's like, okay, no.
Yeah. Okay.
that you just got to go with your gut on that, but understand and be aware, use discernment, and be aware of what is going on. Okay, what would I be doing to you if I received this? I would be lying to you, and I would be acting fake, and I would be acting like I'm doing something. It's not for you. No.
Okay.
Good question. That was
Yeah.
an excellent question.
Because I feel like I've experienced some of that, like mainly in my line of work and kind of how like my
Mhm.
personality is. And I feel
Mhm.
like that's how now I can see where I'm like, okay, well, I've gone against my instinct or gone against my gut feeling.
There we go.
But now
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep. That was an excellent question. Thank you for that, Colby.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, look,
Small
this is.
piece.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Somebody
Small
said.
piece. The small piece is I made the wrong reference. When I was talking about the thankful gratitude and appreciation, that was about the bedtime moment before you go to bed at night. I was looking at my
Oh, okay,
that
okay,
was
okay.
another topic. So before you go to bed at night and you're being thankful for your day, you're thinking, oh, what a day I had, lovely day. And then gratitude for what I learned that day, because I'm each day
Mm-hmm.
want to be better and better. So to be better and better, I've got to think better and this and that. And then
Mm-hmm.
the appreciation part was for the gifts that will come. That would be the forecast. And then you go to sleep and more gifts can come, when you have unresolved things you want to get clarity on.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you for that. All right. Look, we've been on a long time. I think this is one of the better sessions. Like we really went deep today, like on this topic. And I think this is the perfect time to talk about this. So in next week or on Friday, we're gonna have another next level. We don't even know what's happening next. We just always plan according to the divine. The divine tells us what to talk about, and then we go into that. But hey, let's see what come out Friday. I love each and every one of y'all. I'm happy that y'all here. I'll see y'all in the chat.